as the class of 2012, are we ready to gain our independence and take responsibility for our bright futures ahead? A person must understand that difficult issues will be faced, and being responsible is dealing positively with these struggles. Responsibility consists of following through on obligations and never making excuses. These responsible actions lead us into maturity and into the life of an adult. The time has come for the members of the class of 2012 to leave the comfort of our homes and to escape the watchful eyes of our parents. Unlike in our past, the choices we make are now fully in our own hands, with all responsibility falling back on us. We must now take what we have learned from our families, friends, and Magnolia High School to build ourselves into the people who God wants us to be. We must use the lifestyles taught to us by our parents to care for ourselves. We must use the honesty and trust learned through our childhood friendships to take responsibility in our future relationships. The bonds we have made in the past prepare us for the many new people in our future. We remember the importance of responsible listening, not just hearing, and responsible loving without judgment in the relationships we will soon build. The dedication to learning and responsibility of work that we have discovered throughout our years at Magnolia High School must carry us through our future schooling and careers. As our learning continues, we must take to heart the devotion and commitment to reaching our full potential that high school has taught us. As we make these choices and continue along the path of our lives, we gain independence. We enhance our individuality and begin living the life that God has planned for us. The next few years of our lives will consist of the most drastic choices, the most life-changing events, and the most overwhelming responsibility we have ever had to undertake. Now, as we walk away from this stage, away from this school, and away from our families, we must embrace the responsibility that comes with this independence and pray it leads us into promising futures.
Here at Magnolia High School, students receive extensive emotional and educational support from many outstanding people. These individuals have made themselves available, not just because it was their jobs, because they wanted their students to reach their full potentials. The faculty members have gone out of their way to ensure that my fellow classmates and I have all the tools to make the best of our future endeavors. They have done their jobs. But what will we do with it? We have an obligation to ourselves to give back to this school and community that we came from. In a time when we find such a gap between generations, we need to find that key factor to bring our communities together. Not only to bring them together, but to keep them together. Gandhi once said that for unity to be real, it must stand the severest strain without breaking. We have to have the same spirit in bringing our communities together. Our spirit towards our community should be one of optimism, courage, and even devotion. When one person goes out of his or her way to make a difference, it should encourage others to do the same. Just as any other endeavor, it must start with one person. Therefore, in order to bring unity to our community, it must start with you and me. As the great artist Michael Jackson once said, it starts with the man in the mirror. And when you start it, you must do so with energy. In order for any movement to be initiated, a certain amount of energy is required. We put our time, money, and soul into things for ourselves. But now it is time for us to unite for a common cause. These communities are in desperate need for a great inspiration. Why can't you and I be it? Now is the chance to do so. We cannot wait any longer. Our communities are a power keg, just waiting on that spark to ignite the positive effects. cross this stage tonight and symbolically cross over into a new realm, we must never forget to continue to work for and the betterment of our community. Benjamin Franklin once said, "We must indeed hang together, or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately." In closing, I would like to leave you with another thought to ponder. As a community, or as an individual, are we reaching out to somebody, or are we simply waiting to be reached? Are we waiting on a change to come, or are we bringing about a change? Let our communities be unified today so that your future, my future, and my fellow classmates' future can be all that we have them to be. Let us continue in strength, passion, determination, and unity. Thank you, and may God bless each and every one of you.
As a proud Panther musician, I believe we can compare our lives to a song. A song consists of basically three parts: a repetitive chorus, several verses, and a transitioning bridge. Like the song, our education throughout our lives is basically composed of three similar parts. The chorus of a song is similar to lessons we learn, use, and relearn. These are lessons that remain with us for life. An example would be learning to say please and thank you, yes sir, and no sir. Lessons like learning to tie your shoes or style your hair. We use all these lessons daily in our lives. The verses of the song represent all the other lessons we learn throughout our school career. These lessons, like the verses, are sometimes memorable and sometimes not. We as students may not always feel they are important. For the graduate going on to be an engineer, reading classic literature may not be memorable. For the student majoring in education, doing 100 jumping jacks in PE may be forgotten. Although these lessons are important in shaping our life songs as a whole, they are sometimes not as important as the choruses we continue to use daily. Finally, the bridge of a song is when the key might change or transition into a new verse. The bridge represents turning points in our lives. I say that today marks the bridge of our life song in education. Today is the day that we will transition from a high school education to a lifelong education. Unlike most songs, our song has an infinite number of verses. We will continue to learn new lessons every day. We must decide today to continue our education past high school so that our life thrives. Today, senior class of 2012, I challenge each and every one of you to continue your life song of education. Continue to repeat your chorus of information that you have already learned. Add new verses to your song by learning new lessons throughout your life. Always remember today, the bridge of our life song, and let it transition us into who we will be for the rest of our lives.
Technology is defined as the application of scientific knowledge. Since the dawn of time, humanity has found ways to apply knowledge to help build civilization. As a species, we are very inquisitive about new and untested fields. The last generation has seen many technological advances. In the last 20 years, we have seen cell phones go from the size of a brick to the size of a credit card, with more computing power than a full-size computer. For as long as recorded history can trace back, this ability to find new and better inventions has given groups an edge on their neighbors. The Hittites' ability to forge iron weapons and wheels gave them the ability to conquer Egypt for a century. The Greeks had the technology of boat building to roam the Mediterranean Sea unopposed by any other nation. The Persians had the technology of logistics to unify a large area from Turkey to China. Rome had an architecture that has outlasted even their mighty empire, standing testament to their accomplishments. More recently, the Allied forces in both world wars are testament to the power of technology. From those wars, we received antibiotics, other advances in medical treatment that have saved countless lives, rockets that led to larger versions for space travel, and the jet plane. Technology has the capability to help millions, but we have to make a commitment to harness it and explore the options available to us at the class today. 20 years ago, students at Magnolia High School had none of the options we have as a result of new technology. Computers then were the size of a 12 by 12 room, and there was no way of sending emails to people halfway across the world in the blink of an eye. Technology can only grow from here. We are the next generation of scientists, engineers, and visionaries who will change the world. I know I speak on behalf of the entire senior class of 2012 when I say, we will be wholly committed to the advancement of new technologies for the benefit of all mankind. As Apple's former CEO, Steve Jobs, once said, I think technology has brought the world a lot closer together and will continue to do that. In closing, I would like to say, only by committing ourselves to progress can we as a class succeed in harnessing the great potential of our future.
It is impossible to survive in the present age without communication. However, just like the trendiest styles or the hippest hairstyles, communication has changed dramatically. A paper envelope is something foreign to our generation. A phone call is an oddity to most. Even email has become outdated. Instead, our society thrives on Skyping, texting, and Facebook. The methods of our communication are quick and effective. They allow us to share what is going on this weekend, what AP class is stressing us out, or how desperately ready we are to be out of high school with multiple people at a time. From day to day, the majority of our lives consist of communicating in one form or fashion. The knowledge that has been granted to us in the past is a result of adequate communication from our teachers, coaches, and parents alike. Despite its changes, it is still this communication that allows us to be successful in what we do. And so, it is vital to the 2012 graduating class to remember that we are not alone. In fact, we are more connected to this world and to the people in it than any graduating class that has come before us. The simplicity of our communication has given us access to much more than we could have ever dreamed. Although we are each going in different directions, the ties that bind us through basic communication are present and will only grow stronger as we continue our journey. The world may be large, but with our own abilities to communicate, we will remain connected to one another and to the world. To the class of 2012, I say good luck, but not goodbye, because we will each see each other online. Thank you.
safe to say that tonight marks a huge step in the life of every senior here. Graduation from high school is just one of the many steps a person takes on his or her life's journey, and every one of those steps leaves behind a footprint. Now is a great time to reflect on how the members of the class of 2012 have left a mark on Magnolia High School and each other. I'm sure we all remember stepping foot on campus for the first time and getting lost in this maze. High school was a whole new world of new people, new classes, new teachers, and new possibilities. We certainly have taken advantage of the opportunities we were given, and as a result are leaving behind our footprints. Academically, we have helped improve test scores and hit new records for taking advanced placement classes. We have been leaders and earned honors in band, choir, art, yearbook, and East. In athletics, the graduates you see behind me have been state champions in track and baseball. I feel as if we have all worked our best to leave a mark on our school so that our legacy will be one of success. Another impression we leave behind is the impression we leave on each other. As a class, we've all been close over the past few years. We have taken a lot from each other and built up a community amongst ourselves. As always, great friendships have been formed, and there has always been someone here for each and every one of us. I'm sure we will take our friendships with us into the future, and for the rest of our lives, treasure the bonds we have made in high school. Tonight, we celebrate the footprints we have already left, and imagine how great the ones will be that we will leave behind in the future. Tonight's accomplishment, our graduation, is just one step leading to the next. Students from our class are moving on to college, jobs, the military, and families of our own. If we have done so much already, there is no limit to what is yet to come. We can change the world just as we have changed our school and each other. This class is full of future doctors, engineers, teachers, business owners, community leaders, and devoted parents. Let us leave tonight to seek our destinies and continue to make our world a better place.